Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football, continuing to take a look at the next week's slate, heading down to the ACC as the Louisville Cardinals head on the road to play the Miami Hurricanes. And what intrigues me most about this game is you're looking at two teams that have very similar identities. You look at the offensive side of the ball, what they want to do. Both of these teams want to run the football. Some of the better teams in the ACC at running the football. And then you look at the defense. Both of these teams are playing some of the best defense, not only in the ACC, but across the country. Both programs really good against the run. It's going to be good on good. Really excited to get into this one. Before we do, just want to say thank you to you guys. The support for all of these game breakdowns, it truly does mean a lot. We love doing them. We love talking ball with you guys in the comment section. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Dill, without further ado, I'm going to give you the T-box here. Cardinals, Hurricanes, how are we feeling?
I mean, two new coaches who feel like they got their ships going in the right direction. Jeff Brom, undoubtedly so. I mean, to come in this year and overhaul that roster the way they're doing and go 9-1 and look like they're going to be better than that. And Mario Cristobal too. I think you look at this record, you maybe think, oh, well, you disappointed or something's wrong with this program. Aside from the quarterback play, which has been really, really weak and has been costing them games in a vicious way, this is a really, really good Miami team. So if they can find that guy for that position and steady that out, I mean, you're looking at a team, the way they've improved on both sides of the line of scrimmage, that's what you wanted to see with Mario Cristobal. You have it. I love where Miami's going.
And I do too. And if you're a Miami fan, and not to start talking off season right now, but if you do get this quarterback situation figured out, and you look at both sides of the ball and the physicality and the culture that's being implemented in this team, it's coming along. It's just hard to win games consistently when you have the inconsistent quarterback play that the Hurricanes had. Though, let's start with Miami's offense going up against the Louisville defense that, I mean, it's been so good, even against really good offenses. You take a look at some of the numbers, only allowing 19 points per game. That's 18th in the country. Specifically, their run defense has been absolutely elite. They're only allowing 3 yards per carry. That's top 10 in the country. With the Hurricanes offense that wants to run the football, we've seen that the last couple of weeks, kind of that lack of trust in the quarterback play. It's going to be tough sledding running against the Louisville front seven that's been so dominant all year.
In Louisville's ability to stop the run has allowed them to speed up the quarterbacks. And you look, hey, they're really good rushing the passer. I love the way their defensive tackles rush it. They're collapsing pockets consistently. They're a really, really good group. And you just see that aggression in these quarterbacks. They're making everyone uncomfortable. They made Sam Hartman, a 6-year senior who was supposed to be like that guy for Notre Dame. I mean, they made him look like a freshman. They've just been doing that to everyone. They had Riley Leonard kind of rattled. They're just making it so uncomfortable on quarterbacks. And obviously with Miami's got coming in there, that feels like a tall task because they stop the run and they really heat quarterbacks.
That's exact. When we broke down the Louisville game after they beat Virginia, that's the exact recipe we've been talking about, right? Elite against a run, winning on first and second down. Then you have pass rushes. You mentioned defensive tackles. I would go to the defensive ends. I mean, Ashton Gelati, Stevan Heron, Mason Rager, these guys are rushing the passer at such a high level, and the cornerback play has been elite. So you take a look at kind of checking all the boxes, right? Rushing the passer, stopping the run, being able to force turnovers, leading the ACC in forced turnovers.
I mean the windows they're forcing quarterbacks to throw into are so tight, and they're willing to maybe take a risk and give up a play. I know Notre Dame got over the top of them a couple times, but they're making you earn it, and it's really tough. Their zone coverage, their man coverage, both of them are just very aggressively played, and I mean, if you have a defensive line who can rush the passer like that, that's, I think, how you should play in the second.
It makes it so much easier to call a defense. And I think that's resulting in what we're seeing is one of the best defenses in the country. Now, looking at this Miami offense, it started out so hot, right? Tyler Van Dyke piecing up a Texas A&M defense that I think is really good. And ever since that Georgia Tech game, obviously Tyler Van Dyke battling injuries. You go to the true freshman, Emory Williams, who looks like he'll be out for the season with that arm injury. There's just not much confidence in the quarterback play. And we mentioned it before. When you have a quarterback like Tyler Van Dyke, who's really struggling with his confidence, and then you're seeing the offensive play calling not have confidence in the quarterback, that's a result of this Miami offense really struggling. Now, outside of the quarterback play, this Miami offense has a lot of pieces, right? This is a very good offensive line with loaded running back rooms and some really talented wide receivers. So if you can just scheme up some stuff that's easy for the quarterback, I think this Hurricanes team can move the football, but the quarterback play has been the big bugaboo here.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like, I just think it's going to be tough sledding to run it. I honestly, to me, for what that's just a Louisville thing. Louisville's just making that tough on everyone. I'm pretty confident that's what they're going to focus on, and they're going to devote what they need to devote to do it. For me, you're going to need a couple plays. And these wide receivers, Jacoby George especially, are very capable of doing it, especially against an aggressive defense. You saw like some of those plays they made against Florida State were very much, if you just give him a little bit of space and he can catch a quick slant and turn it up, or catch a guy sleeping and just run by him. Jacoby George and Colby Young both can really play. That's what I'm looking for. I think they're going to need to hit one or two, or probably two or three of those type of plays. And if they can do that, they're going to give themselves a chance. But I think it's going to be very hard to systematically work the ball down the field, given what you have at quarterback.
100% agree. And when you've seen this Cardinals defense struggle, it has been giving up the big plays. So you're looking at two keys to the game. One, can you run the football? If you can you hit those explosive plays? I would offer another guy, Rashad Smith. Like limited work, but I feel like every time that dude catches the football, something good's happening, or getting the ball out of the backfield. So I would like to see Miami, especially with where the quarterback situation is, just get the football to your playmakers who can hit explosive plays, and good things are going to happen. We saw it against Florida State. Let's see if we can see it against Louisville. Changing sides, though, this Louisville offense running the football extremely effective, but a very similar situation. This Miami Hurricanes defense also top 10 in the country, stopping the run. Starting with this Louisville offense, we know where it starts. They run the ball 55% of their offensive snaps. Jawar Jordan, Isaac Guerrero have been absolutely dominant. What I don't think gets enough credit, though, this Cardinals offensive line has been extremely good all year, and probably deserves a little bit more credit than they're getting.
Yeah, to turn this unit around, and again, we're seeing some of these transfer portal teams, and Louisville certainly was one of them, really struggle up front, especially on the offensive line. Defensive lines are typically good with transfers. Offensive lines do seem to take some time to gel, and I know they had a couple guys back from last year, but to turn it over,
they crushed it
this effectively. It's been really impressive, because you're right. And Jawar Jordan's that type of guy. If you just give him a crack of daylight, he's so dangerous. I mean, he's running by safeties very consistently. You saw him do that against Notre Dame. You saw him against Duke. Again, like you talk about Miami having the opportunity to like hit one or two or three of those big plays. Jawar Jordan just needs that one crease to do what he's got to do.
He is lightning in a bottle. Like when he sees that gap, I mean, he gets downhill quickly, and he is just absolutely firing through gaps. And he's been a little banged up, and I think Louisville fans probably recognize that. Like the juice after that hamstring injury might not quite be like it was earlier in the season, but he's still one of the best backs. And Isaac Guerrero, to kind of complement what Jawar Jordan brings, has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, in a very similar manner, this team wants to run the football, probably largely because they don't have a ton of confidence in Jack Plummer. And the story with Jack Plummer, I think he's a little bit more steady than what the Hurricanes have. That being said, when you have such a good run game, keep it easy for Jack Plummer. Like you saw in the first half, just getting the ball out quick to playmakers in space, similar to the Hurricanes, they have wide receivers who can make plays, right? Jamari Thrash, Chris Bell, these guys, when they touch the football in space, can hit big plays. Coach Brom, just keep it easy, right? Establish the run, force teams to put bodies in the box, and then go get it to Jamari Thrash or Chris Bell. Make it easy on Jack Plummer, and good things happen for this Cardinals offense.
If you give him manageable work, which is pretty much keeping the ball within 15 yards or so, and just being able to get it out quickly, because again, you don't want him sitting in the pocket too long.
No.
That's when kind of chaos occurs, it feels like, with Plummer.
Yes.
But again, they can keep the ball, like get it out of his hands quickly, and they've done a pretty good job with that. I think you saw Jeff Brown do a really good job with that with guys at Purdue. It seems like it's worked okay. And again, if Louisville's going to take it to the next level, they're going to need a quarterback who can take them to the next level. And I don't think that's Jack Plummer right now. But for this year, and especially against a team like Miami, where I don't think they need to score a ton, if he can just manage the football game pretty effectively, that's probably good enough for what they need from him.
And
But again, the problem is they're going to have their own really tough time running the football because Miami's playing.
Yeah, 100%. So that's why I'm looking for maybe the quick game. And like Jack Plummer looks comfortable when he can get the football out quick to his guys in space. And you look at where you want to attack the Hurricanes defense, it's not in the front seven. I mean, Reuben Bain, Leonard Taylor, Jafari Harvey, Branson Dean, Francisco Maui-Noa, these guys up front are NFL level dudes. That's why they're so good against the run. What kind of worked for Florida State and what's worked for against Miami's defense has attacking the perimeter, especially with the injuries that they've endured. They got true freshmen out there at the cornerback spot. If you're Louisville, try to attack those guys in space. Like get Jamari Thrash mashed up with the true freshman and ask that freshman to make a tackle on one of the more electric wide receivers in the ACC in space. And if you can do that, you feel pretty good about Louisville and the chances. Dill, let's get to the pick here. Cardinals, top 15 Louisville Cardinals, heading on the road to the Miami Hurricanes. The point spread, 1.5 point favorites for the Cardinals. Who you rocking with here?
I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals, but honestly, I think this game is going to be like 10-13 or something. I think this is going to be ultra low scoring again. I think maybe not 10-13, maybe closer to like 17-20, because I do think both teams have their type of guys who can go take big plays and get quick touchdowns, but I don't see either team consistently driving it on each other. I just have far more trust in Jack Plummer compared to whatever they're going to do at Miami at this point.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and Miami fans, we're going to do a little deep dive on Ja'Cory Brown this week because I do think he's the guy. I'm going to go with the Cardinals too, and it does just come down to, and I love the under in this game, 47.5 points. I'm kind of with you. I'd be surprised if we see both teams get into the 20s here. I think you're seeing two elite defenses with two teams that want to run the football and don't have a ton of confidence in their quarterback play. I think that's a recipe for a lot of punts.
Just so suffocating, and both these quarterbacks are very capable of being kind of suffocated. So it's like,
and more importantly, both of the play callers have seemed to like not really want to put a ton of responsibility into either quarterback's hands. I think this is going to be kind of a Big Ten-esque game where you're going to see a lot of running, maybe not so much successful running because both of these front sevens are so good. I like the under, but at the end of the day, if you're just asking me, okay, these teams are pretty evenly matched. They do a lot of the same things well. What team do you have confidence to go win this football game? I love the Hurricanes. Like I am higher on the Miami Hurricanes than most people across the country, but I just have a little bit more confidence in the Louisville Cardinals to get this one done. I'll rock with the Cardinals as well. Going to be a really fun one. And again, massive opportunity for Louisville to clinch that ACC championship berth. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas as usual. Again, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.